Oh, wow. I feel like that opening was a lot shorter than it used to be. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, hey everyone, welcome to the food truck after dark at night. Something. Welcome to the food truck regardless. We are now doing our regularly scheduled mahjong and chat. I will be basically, if you haven't seen this before, I'm basically going to be like doing ranked matches, playing, talking about random stuff. And if you would like to play, please let me know. However, to play, we're gonna need at least 2 people to do it because we just need 2 people to do it. That's basically the bare minimum I'm asking for. All right? Okay. Anyway, let's get warmed up a little bit with ranked. It's been a good couple of weeks since I touched the games at all, and I have what's going on here. Okay, so that's what I clicked earlier. This is the sign-in event. I guess that's happening right now. Bronze, silver, let's go. I am gonna be in pain, I feel like. So much in pain. Anyway, while we get started and get cozy here. I am tired. Actually, no. It's not so much that. I think I'm like really out of it today. I don't know why. It's just one of those days. It is a Friday, so I'm assuming that's probably why I'm a little bit out of it. But also, I was doing fine up to lunchtime, and then I think during the meeting that I had today with at work, someone brought in cookies, and I ate quite a bit of those cookies, like I think 7 cookies, and maybe that's what made me really sluggish. I don't know. Cookies don't normally make me sluggish, but I think it was just that time of day or something, and digestion and stuff happening. It's like, I can't even think anymore. I just want to nap, but you can't really nap until you get home. And once I got home, I didn't even nap. That's the sad part. I just kind of laid down, eyes wide open, thinking about nothing whatsoever. Just chilling, watching VODs of other people's Armored Core 6 playthroughs, which is interesting to say the least. I have seen some people's mech builds being like the quote-unquote meta broken OP builds, and it's like, yeah. And then you get to a certain part of the game where you actually need to think a little bit, and it's like, oh, wow. You're actually struggling now. How does it feel? Have you gotten good by doing the meta build, or do you just like stun and have at it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's like, yeah. I mean, play how you want. It's just, I don't know. There's a little bit of me wanting to roast people for just going with meta with everything. It's like, oh no, if everything is meta, no, you gotta play meta or else you will not succeed. No, you get good if you don't play meta. And then you get even better if you do play meta, but you don't learn too much if you do just meta. I don't know. Double Gatling is kind of not really meta, I guess, so I can't really speak, to be honest. I'll be honest, I can't speak about my double Gatling build, but the thing is, Metal Wolf demands double Gatling build. So it's kind of like, it's not really meta, but it is required by the build, and you know, if it's required by the cosplay build, then I will do it, but per the cosplay build. I don't see anything wrong with that. I do still struggle with certain enemies, but at least, you know, still getting good, still learning, that kind of thing. Speaking of which, I haven't actually been able to touch Armored Core 6 since the last playthrough, so it's kind of like, yeah. I'm just like too busy to do anything else, but I do need to get back into it, and I guess there's a few things I need to pick up as far as battle logs and whatnot. So that is still on my list to do, at least for this weekend. This weekend. Among other things, I need to do, get ready for next week, and honestly, the main thing in my mind right now, more than anything, is just the trip that I've been waiting for basically the entire year. I advanced the 8 months, I guess 8-9 months now of my mental space to next month. I don't know if that's a good thing in retrospect for like anything at all, but it's still like, you know, the one anticipated trip you've been waiting for all year, and I kind of would like to just do that whenever it happens and enjoy it when it does happen. First, I actually gotta get there, and that's gonna be really... maybe not too tough. I got like an early flight that day. That's gonna be... like... oh no, I gotta make sure I actually get there on time, otherwise you screw up everything, and you definitely don't want to do that, for sure. To yourself, to anyone who is going with you, and such. Yeah. I mean, also I'm kind of like trying to figure out all the different stuff I want to bring along to the trip, namely camera stuff. Like, you know, I do have like a really small compact travel camera, which everyone seems to hate on, but you know, it's nice. It's nice being able to like bring something along that's not, that you can like stick in your pocket really quickly. That seems to is a little bit better than your cell phone pictures, which the cell phone pictures are respectable. They look pretty nice in general, but I feel like just a dedicated camera where I can tweak stuff afterwards in post, taking the shot and stuff. Yeah, just for the extra flexibility would be nice. But I do have the streaming camera, the camera I use for hand cams now, that I do also want to bring. I say also as if I am going to be bringing 2 different cameras. But some people do that, but also it's like, I don't want to bring too much stuff. It's just too much stuff to lug around, and that's just not good in general. In general, that's just not something I encourage anyone to do. So whenever I see these people say like, hey, yeah, use this particular camera, which is a full frame DSLR camera, full frame mirrorless camera that is gigantic. It makes a nice travel camera. On what definition? On what definition does it make a nice camera? To me, a nice travel camera is something that's pocketable, something unintrusive, something that is generally easy to carry around, not too heavy, and when people see it, they're not going to think twice about it. Because if you bring the gigantic full-frame cameras, let's be perfectly honest, people start to behave a little bit differently. They look at you like, oh no, what is he shooting at? Oh no, it's like, what is this person doing? Where are they? What are they taking a picture of? I hope it's not me, kind of thing. And that's, I mean, I get it, I understand it. I don't want to be in pictures either. Just as a personal thing, I don't want to be in pictures, but it's just, you know, something small is great for weight, great for portability, and all that stuff. So, yeah. But the bigger camera does take nicer pictures in general, and I have brought bigger cameras with me on trips before, and they have overall taken pretty nice pictures. So I can't say there's no merit to it. It's just heavy. It's big. It's heavy. Like, you wouldn't think a total weight of about 500 grams would be that heavy, but it is. It can be heavy, and it is not the nicest thing in the world to just, you know, carry around with you. It really isn't. It really isn't. When you, at least for me personally, when you go on a trip, you need to pack light. Not, well, it depends on what you need personally, right? But in general, packing light is a good idea. A good idea. So if you're like going from place to place, you don't have too much stuff to carry with you, your luggage isn't so heavy, you don't carry too much stuff. I am pretty bad about that advice myself though. However, it's not the stuff I'm taking with me going to the trip, it's the stuff I'm taking back from the trip. Especially if you're the type to buy a lot of souvenirs. You typically want to take advantage, or at least me personally, I like to take advantage of the fact that I can check in to luggages that go up to 50 pounds, 30 something kilograms. I think that's what it works out to. 2 luggages that go up to 50 pounds. Let's just say 50 pounds. 50 pounds. I think at one point it used to be 70 or 60. But that was a really long time ago, I feel like, and that's not really the case at all anymore. But in general, that's kind of like what I like to do. Bring a lot of stuff back that I don't normally see or can't get back where I'm from, and just basically stuff the luggage full with that up to the weight limit. And usually they're not that heavy to begin with, because usually what I get for souvenirs for myself and other people are like food stuff, like ramen, chips, desserts that don't like go bad that quickly. Just really small things, but some of them can take a lot of space. Quite a bit of space. Especially the what do you call this? The souvenirs from Japan. Some of those things can be really bulky. Hey Lacats, welcome. How's it going? Man, I can't even think right now. I haven't drank anything yet. We just started the, what do you call this? The ranking warm-ups right now. And yeah, I can't think. But apparently my hand so far in this ranking match has been really good, and I could use that because I have D-ranked in the past month or so from Adept 2 to Adept 1. And I forgot how close I am to Adept 2 now, but I want to get back to Adept 2. And I have been dominating this round against the person on my right apparently, and I think the person on my right has had a very, very bad luck. Just this game alone. It'd just be a thing, right? Mahjong gods giveth and Mahjong gods taketh away. Right now, I think the luck is against them, but I really shouldn't say that, because that can also bite me in the butt eventually. But I do have a motive to get to Adept 2 again. I am like 500 out of 600 for Adept 1. I lost quite a bit. I lost quite a bit when I dropped from Adept 2. I think I was like around 500 out of 800 when I was in Adept 2. And I just had like a really bad losing streak. A really bad losing streak for 2 weeks straight playing offline, which I usually don't do, but I felt the Mahjong bug at the time. And it was a bad idea to play during those 2 weeks because I dropped a lot. A lot. Yeah, I do be like that sometimes. I don't play competitively, but I do like to see how good am I actually against other people. But then again, if you're just playing East rounds, let's be perfectly honest, if you're just playing East rounds, it's not the best measure of skill, because East rounds are higher on luck than they are in skill. Meanwhile, South rounds are better on skill, not so much luck, though it does still play a factor because it is Mahjong after all, right? Typically, at least that's what I hear, and I do tend to agree with that. I do also have some friends that are. I do have some friends that are ranked higher than me because they play more often than I do. Like they're either expert or master. South round makes me sleepy though. I mean, true. South rounds are long, but when you're like playing an official, when you're playing official matches, you do have to go through those South rounds because that's just how it's set up, right? I don't think there's any. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe there is. Oh wow, they are not having a good time. They are dead. Oh, they are dead. But yeah, I mean, South rounds are required for official matches, so wow, they are not having a good time. Minus 11,000? Ooh, minus 71 points. That is, I would not like to be there. I'll take my first win though. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll also hope to rank up in the next couple of matches, because I want to get back to Adept 2 at least. Personally, for me, I would like to get back to Adept 2. What is this? What the fuck? What the fuck moments? Episode 36. You know, I think I feel like Mahjong Soul has been a little bit more active recently compared to what they used to before. Before they were just kind of like, you know, event here, event there, but nothing really. They're not really pushing too hard in events, or maybe I just noticed it recently because I've been playing more Mahjong Soul. I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Is that a thing that they do a lot? Events, but I feel like the events recently, at least the past month, they've been ramping up a little bit. I don't know why. Not complaining. I'm just not sure why. Though I would like to see them do more collab events, especially Saki. I want to see the Saki girls again so I can get a rerun on those skins. But then again, I don't know if that's a good idea. The what the fuck moment has been running for quite a while. Yeah, it's episode like 36 or something. Speaking of, I don't really talk Mahjong during the Mahjong stream, but it is related. I think there's just one other VTuber. It's a Japanese VTuber that I saw. I don't know his name, but he's like this hedgehog-looking thing. That's the only thing I remember. And he basically posts like shorts or I think shorts. I think he mainly posts shorts. Short videos of really crazy hands that more or less doesn't happen normally. I don't know if they're scripted. I feel like they're scripted, but even if they're not scripted, it's like I would not want to be hit by a triple Yakuman or a triple double Yakuman. Like those are like 1 in a million or 1 in a billion chances of happening, but you know, it's still technically possible, right? It's still technically possible. Yeah, insane Mahjong moments. And it's good for like 1 or 2 video laughs. But if you actually encounter that in the wild, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for your soul. I feel sorry for my soul just watching it, because you know it's gonna hurt. You know it's gonna hurt, and it is not pretty. It is not pretty. But it's funny. It's funny watching it. Not gonna lie. It's like, you know, you hate the bad thing that's happening, but you do laugh at the person getting affected by the bad thing, depending on how bad it is. Like, right. At least in games, because you know it's all fun in games. They'll bounce back, they'll recover. It's not like they're dead. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you get sent to the Shadow Realm for being even 1 LP. No, being at 0 LP at the end of the match. I wonder how hard you would be in the Shadow Realm though if you got like hit by 10 times your maximum LP limit. Actually, there is no maximum LP limit, right? Technically, LP goes up infinitely, except everyone, I think, starts at 4 or 8,000. Normally 4 or 8,000. I think in the anime they start at 4,000. Maybe in like other games they start at 8,000. I think that's how it works. I don't know. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a very long time, and I don't plan to pick it up anytime soon. Just because of how complicated Yu-Gi-Oh has been. I used to play a little bit, but I only play meme decks. I only play like set decks. Like I think there's like one old deck called Goat Control. Basically what Goat Control is a singleton deck of some really, really oddball cards, but the oddball cards all work together. So you have to like make every move you do is a big decision, but it's a fun decision that can go anywhere. Goat Control mirror decks. I used to play that with friends all the time. It's fun. You don't win all the time, but it's more fun than, you know, waiting for your turn for the past 30 minutes because the person on the other side has all these cards and they basically killed you in the first turn, but they just won't let it end. It's like, just kill me. You won, just kill me. That kind of thing. I feel like that's where Yu-Gi-Oh is these days. You either know what each deck does and the perfect way to counter them, or you just play for fun and you can't play for fun because all these meta decks will kill you. That's how I feel Yu-Gi-Oh is like these days, and I cannot support that. For me personally, I cannot support that. Most of the time I see the clips of the players is in friendly match, so maybe they try to get the insane moment even though scripted is still insane. Yeah, even though if it's scripted, right? Even if it's scripted, you can't really get those hands easily. Yes, scripted. However, even scripted, very hard to get because you can't really fix the Mahjong decks. You really can't. All you can do is tell everyone, hey, this is my hand, this is my hand, this is my hand. And from there, you figure out how you want to make the video, and then, there we go. Insane minus 108,000 or so damage to your points and basically your life. That's what it amounts to. But yeah, the only thing right now in my mind is like the upcoming trip I have next month, and it's gonna be fun. I am very much looking forward to it. I do kind of want to see if I can stream, but I don't think I will be able to stream technically, just because logistic-wise it's hard. One, I won't have a laptop because I don't have a laptop. No, technically I do have a laptop. However, I do not want to bring it with me because it will be already too bulky. Because I'm already carrying camera gear, right? Camera gear. And camera gear is... I'm still trying to decide which one I want to bring. I have 2 cameras I can bring. I have the point and shoot, which I can put in my pocket really easily and I don't have to worry about much of anything else. Though, I probably might still bring a really compact tripod with me. I don't normally bring a tripod to trips because, let's be perfectly honest, tripods are a pain in the butt to carry around, especially if you're on a long trip. But I do want to try to get some night shots, and because I do want to try to get some night shots, it is going to be kind of a requirement to do that. Like a requirement to get a tripod because night shots, light, wobbly, you get blurs, and not really great depending on what you want to do. There's like one city in particular I'm going to that has like a really nice, I guess mountain. It might be a mountain. It's probably closer to a hill, but let's just say a mountain because it's actually part of a mountain anyway. So it'd be weird to call it a hill. But anyway, there's like this one mountain that I am planning to go to that would get like a nice picture of the city that I will be visiting. And yeah, everyone and their grandma probably has a picture of that city, but I want one for myself, okay? I want one for myself. I want to edit that picture myself for myself. I want to do things to that photograph that maybe other people might not have done, but even if they have done it before, it's just for my own satisfaction, you know? Sometimes you just gotta do stuff for you. Sometimes you just gotta do stuff for you. But the thing is, yeah, well, I mean, like, at the very least, I can use the tripod as a, what do you call this? As a walking stick. It's not technically a tripod, it's a monopod. But the monopod has like a little small tripod attachment you can put at the bottom. Like, I'm not a fan of really niche equipment just because, you know, it's too much stuff. And for the past few years I've been trying to like get rid of excess stuff in my life. However, ever since streaming I have been accumulating things at a breakneck speed I never had before, and I feel bad about it, to be honest. Oh my gosh. But you know what? It is what it is. Maybe what I've been doing for the past several years, not getting anything, is like just saving up for the things I need to upgrade on that actually matter now. Maybe. I think that's what it is. But yeah, Japan trip will be fun. It's just I'm trying to figure out all the stuff I want to bring and doing test. I don't know if anyone does this except for me, but I feel like if you're going on a trip, especially on a longer trip, you really want to manage the stuff that you bring with you, right? At least for me personally, because if you bring too much stuff and you don't even use half the stuff that you brought, then what did you bring them for? You just brought extra weight with you that could extra weight, extra space that could have gone to something else, like more souvenirs. Souvenirs are nice, especially the ones that you can keep as a keepsake, or you know, just snacks that you can't get anywhere else, right? That's what souvenirs are. At least for me, that souvenirs. Those are my ideal souvenirs. Food is my ideal souvenirs. It's a temporary souvenir, but you know what? At least you can share that. I don't know if people are like this, but me, I like to share some snacks to other people who may not have the opportunity to try those snacks normally. Like, you know, there's a lot of regional souvenirs in Japan. They do that a lot, honestly. They do a bunch of regional souvenirs, snacks that you can find only in those certain places. And a lot of times you can't really get them even during the trip because there's an expiration date. And the expiration date could be really, really early, and it might not make it to your destination. Now, normally, I guess some people would say the expiration dates are a suggestion, but in Japan, though, that's not really the case. Ouch. Please be only 1,000. Okay, thank you. We can move along. But yeah, in most cases, the expiration dates are not really a suggestion, though I guess you might have a few days leeway. I say that though because especially the really moist stuff like the manju, the cakes, those kinds of snacks, have high moisture content. If you go past the expiration date, you run the risk of it molding or spoiling somehow. Mostly it's going to be mold. Most of the time it's going to be mold. I think if you get cookies, you can mostly ignore the expiration date. Unless it's moist cookies. That's been my experience though, but cakes, manju, definitely 100% pay attention to the expiration date because that is not good afterwards. You can probably try it a couple of days after. I would not recommend though. Unless you want to be on the toilet all day. Just saying. Just saying. It's not guaranteed, but just saying. It really sucks though, because there's a lot of snacks I want to get, but can't because of those expiration dates. I think at that point, if there's a snack I do want to get but can't get, maybe what I should do is just get it anyway. You know, just get it anyway, try it myself, and document it. Make a video or something. I don't know. Video for myself, and then if it's good enough, share it with other people. Put it on YouTube or something. I think that's a perfectly legit way to do it. Like, you know, Japan has these like really super expensive fruits that cost like $100 or more. And the reason why they're so expensive is because they're specially grown. They're super sweet typically, almost like honey sweet, some of these fruits are. And they're meant to be as gifts. They're not meant to be like normal consumption stuff. Like, yeah, you can get a fairly reasonably priced watermelon. However, the gift watermelon that is priced at $108 and looks like a square is like that specifically because it is meant to be given as a gift. Now, I do think it is a little bit of a scam, and I say this as a weeb, a huge weeb of Japan. I do think it's a little bit of a scam that they're selling it for that much. However, I do also, you know, I kind of feel it that you if you want to market a fruit that's super sweet, it doesn't have to be just super sweet. You can probably like shape it a little bit differently and stuff like that. And yeah, there are ways to do that. Yeah, Minecraft fruit. Apparently the way they do that is actually have like the watermelon grow in like a square box or something. And then when it's pretty much close to harvest, remove the box and it's basically square. So yeah, I think that's how they do it. I do think that's how they do it. But there are other fruits that, you know, are shaped normally or like perfectly circle, perfectly round, like some melons. There's a famous fruit called yubari melon. Now, I think they have like cheaper versions of yubari melon, but they're still on the expensive side because it is like a really sweet, really flavorful type of melon. I think I've had only yubari melon as a flavor in gummies. So that's my only perspective as far as that's concerned. It tastes really good for like a, I think it's like a honeydew. I think yubari melon's a honeydew. It's not like because I think there's honeydew. Honeydew's a green one, right? And then there's cantaloupe, which is the orange one. I do think it's a honeydew, if I'm remembering correctly. It's a little bit iffy right now because my brain is kind of shutting down and also half paying attention to my discards here, which is not a good thing. Like, I have not been paying attention to any discard here on the table, and that's probably gonna be bad. East 4 and you do a sumo on this? Really? You just wanted to end it like that? You know you just gave me the win, right? You just gave me the first place win here. It doesn't get me to the next rank, but it's pretty darn close. Actually, no, did it actually get me ranked up? Woo! Promotion! Frickin' finally, I'm back. We're back! We're so back. We're talking about fruits. Personal favorite is gum fruit. I hear gum gum fruit is really tastes bad though. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we're so back. You look at that. Back to Adept 2, 400 of 800. I do like it that they skip you to like the middle of the... They skip you to the middle of the rank so that, you know, you don't have to grind all the way there. So yeah, we're back. I don't know if I have any ambitions to get to Adept 3, but if we get to Adept 3, we get to Adept 3, and if we get to Expert, then we get to Expert. You know? That's good. That is the most happiest and energetic I have ever heard you sound. I have my moments, okay? I think everyone has their energetic and happy moments. This is me. This is mine personally out of many, because I have sunk. I have sunk in rank and I'm back again. So yeah, why would I not be happy? Why would I not be happy? Well, maybe not happy. I don't know if I can be happy about that, but I can be excited about that. Happiness and excitedness are two very different things. However, that is also a very philosophical philosophical, what do you call this, talk that I don't think I'm quite qualified to talk about, because I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I don't admit it to myself, but I feel like I'm in constant depression. I know I don't sound like it, I know I don't act like it, but I feel like I'm always in constant depression, but I don't let it get to me. But also, I don't feel like I'm also depressed. I'm not happy, I'm not depressed. I am just, you know, neutral, calm. Used to hearing you sound so calm. Yeah, I know you do. I know you're used to hearing me being calm all the time. It's only when I play something like Armored Core, where you either hear me a little bit frustrated or excited, especially after a really hard fight. But I feel like that just comes with the territory, right? I think that just comes with the territory. And besides, I mean, there's a lot of different personalities out there. We can't all be gremlins. We can't all be super hyperactive people. And there's actually a lot of streamers are quite more chill than I am. A lot less talkative, a lot more chill, and just in general, nice to hang around with. Like I do hang around in some of those people's chats whenever I can, and whenever I can catch them. That's the other thing. I am talkative. I am talkative because I feel like I should be talkative. I don't know. I treat this like radio, guys. I treat this like radio. If you're dead silent on the radio for too long of a time, then you can't really. It's not radio then, right? Who listens to a silent radio program? I don't think that's a thing. I do not think it's this thing. I want this, at least for these kinds of things, I want it to be like a podcast, at least, you know, for whenever I do a quote-unquote talking stream. But the talking stream is in the background of Mahjong, so I don't know how much of a talking stream that is, or if the Mahjong in the background is a distraction. But technically, the Mahjong streams are labeled under podcast. I don't know if anyone's found it under podcast, to be honest, but YouTube has a podcast section now. So because this is primarily talking, I will put it in podcast. However, if I do show and tell like I did last time on stream, that's gonna be a little bit weird, but I will try my best in podcast form to describe that. However, also, if you guys haven't seen who is that guy? Trash Taste and Seth Rogen, or whoever that guy is. There's also Adam Ragusa now, who's doing like video podcast. Video podcast is a thing. Video podcast is a thing. Be an amazing podcast host. I feel like I can be a decent podcast host. The thing is, who do I talk to? Who do I bring in? Because a podcast is not... A podcast is, I think, done in two ways, right? Either the podcast is based around an idea that you go along with. Most people like to do politics. Some other people like to do drama. I don't like to do either of those. Like, yes, there's a bunch of drama, there's a lot of politics to talk about. That's not my thing. I do not want to throw my hat in that ring unless it's like specifically important to me, and I have something I can add to the conversation. If I don't have anything to add to the conversation, I'm like, no, it's not something I want to deal with. But other than that, there's also like, you know, I do have one person I do want to talk with after I come back from my trip. I think that will be a good person to talk with. So we'll see. We're kind of planning on it. There might be like a special talk about stuff. But I don't know how it's gonna work. But that would be sort of like a podcast thing, right? So podcasts are done either with two people tossing ideas with each other, or more people, 2 or 3 people typically. I assume. And what else would there be? Yeah, topic of the day, drama of the day, thing of the day, whatever that might be, or something actually really cool. I'm not sure if anyone actually talks about the really cool stuff. There's a lot of people that talk about the negative stuff. I don't want to do that. There is one podcast I used to listen to. I don't listen to it too much right now, because I like to save those podcasts for whenever I do like really long trips. So like, let's say I'm traveling, driving, I might listen to it on this next trip, but I also have to download all the podcasts. Abroad in Japan podcast. I used to listen to that quite a bit. And I still feel like there is still interesting to listen to, but they have, so it's basically Chris Broad. You probably know Chris Broad from Abroad in Japan, and Pete Donaldson. Pete Donaldson is a radio announcer, or at least ex-radio announcer from the UK, and him and Chris Broad, pretty good friends, and they talk about Japan stuff. Let's just talk about random Japan news. So Chris would bring up some random stuff that happened in Japan, either some newspaper or online article, and like they just talk about it random, like really shortly, and explain all the little weird stuff that happened to it. I kind of want to do something like that. I just don't know where to find this stuff. I don't know where to find this stuff. However, that's like one of the things I want to talk about on the anniversary stream on Monday. By the way, I'm going to be mentioning this again later, but on Monday, anniversary stream on this channel, I haven't made the thumbnail for it. I haven't really made a formal announcement on it, but I will try to, hopefully by tomorrow. I haven't just had a chance to do it. But anniversary stream, we're just gonna have like a really small celebration, talk about a few things, and I'll make a really quick announcement about certain things, not bad stuff. I'll just tell you that, guys, just right now, not bad stuff, but it will affect how I do the channel. I'm already trying to implement it on the channel right now. I'll get into specifics about that later, but just know it's gonna be a little bit different, but maybe not too different. Not too different. I just want to like focus on exactly what I'm doing. I know for the past 3 years I don't really have a focus. I feel like, just for me personally, I should put a focus on this channel somehow. We will still do gaming, we will still do the other stuff, but the way I do it is probably gonna be a little bit different. That's all I can tell you right now. Details later. Details later. Not gonna lie, I prefer the laid-back podcast over all the drama stuff. I can just watch different YouTube channels, and if I want to know about the drama of the week, yeah, true. The drama of the week gets shoved into your face all the time, even if you don't want to know anything about it. It gets shoved in my face all the time, and I don't want to know anything about it. Well, it's nice to know. Not nice to know. It is helpful to know. Choice of words. It is helpful to know what is going on in whatever space you're in at the moment, just so you're informed. Being informed is never a bad idea. Drama in general is not always a bad thing, and I'm not talking about the drama itself. Drama itself is not the bad thing. The drama getting blown into out of proportion, that is the bad thing, and people making their opinions out of randomly sparse talking points that you don't have all the information to. And if you have all the information to it, then you can make a better informed decision on how to react to that thing, right? But the thing about drama is a lot of people see one or two talking points about a certain thing, and everyone jumps on that very emotional talking point, and they lose the bigger picture. They get caught up in everything else, and they don't actually get an idea of how this all started, what the thing is actually about. And that's the thing I don't like about drama, other than, you know, hey, there's this other thing that's gonna make you really, really mad now. Let's talk about it. And no one knows why everyone's mad. However, I will say, I'll just touch on this really quick. There is this one thing that's happened recently, and it will affect everyone. Not just the people who, who I guess are directly affected first, but it affects you, it affects me, it affects gamers in general. Has anyone heard about the Unity thing? The Unity price changes and stuff like that. It's a huge thing in game dev right now, and it doesn't just affect game dev, it affects gamers also. Maybe not directly, but some projects made in Unity, like say Silksong I think was being developed on Unity. I don't think I've heard anything specific out of that yet, though I think I've heard the devs for that are thinking about migrating, if they have not migrated yet, from Unity to a different I guess platform to make their games. Because yeah, it's kind of ridiculous how it's made, and I think everyone right now is just trying to dissect on why this very unpopular change is happening, and does it make any sense? Because it's not just the indie devs who are getting affected, it's also the big studios like Nintendo, Sony. I think all the big AAA companies have projects on Unity, and the way the changes are, let me just give you a really brief summary so you have an idea what we're talking about here. I don't know how it was before, because I haven't really taken a look at it, but what's happening right now is that Unity wants to charge, I think, the devs or distributors, I'm not exactly sure. The details got lost, and I'm half paying attention, but I only paid attention because programs I use are on Unity. This capture camera that you're seeing me being caught right now on, that runs on Unity. So I don't know what the future of this is gonna be. I don't know if I'm still gonna be able to use this in the future, or if I have to do something else. So that does affect me right there. And it is monetized. But anyway, back to the point. The change that Unity is implementing next year is that, yeah, gacha games are also being affected in Unity, right? Right. But the change that's happening is for every installs, by the way, okay? Someone could install, uninstall, and reinstall again. That counts as 2 installs. For every install, they charge I think it's the devs or the distributor, I'm not exactly sure which one, but let's just say the devs, because it doesn't make sense to charge a distributor. Let's say the devs. They charge the devs a fee that, depending on how many installs happens, they get charged for more installs. It doesn't and I think they need to also make a certain amount of money before those fees kick in. However, I think someone ran the math, and on one place anyway. This might not be the thing for everyone, but it definitely will affect a majority of them. If you install so many times, uninstalls and reinstalls included, demos included, and you make so much money from it, you would basically make negative profit from whatever thing that you were developing. So that doesn't make any sense. Now, a lot of people are thinking this, at least on the lowest tier anyway, that they want to push devs onto higher tiers that cost more, so that Unity makes more money out of it. However, the really bad part about this, though, is it also affects older games, projects released way before the change was announced, and that doesn't make sense contract-wise. It doesn't make any sense. So everyone's up in arms about it. However, I think the smaller indie devs are hoping the bigger AAA devs are gonna make a big enough stink to Unity so that they actually not implement that. And legally, I don't even know if they can implement it. Again, not a drama channel, but this is the big thing that's gonna affect everyone. If you're a gacha gamer, it will affect some of your gacha games. If you are a VTuber like me, it will affect the programs you use. If you're just a general gamer, it will affect some games you use. And the Richi there was because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize we were 17 in. This is just me flexing on them and saying, hey, do you really want to do this? You know, just do it. Just do it. I do have. I don't think I'm gonna get this, but I'm gonna flex and pretend I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I heard about that. It has to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen a company do in my entire life. Yeah, I think everyone's blaming the CEO right now for the decision, and it does. If it were any other CEO, they would probably. I think other people would probably feel like, you know, they just made a dumb decision. They could probably walk it back. However, I don't think this CEO in particular is going to walk it back, because he doesn't have a good record of walking it back. And if you don't know who the CEO is, I didn't know who the CEO was until it was explained to me. Apparently this CEO, what used to be, I think, also the CEO of EA Games. And I think at one point they suggest that I think they were the reason why loot boxes were implemented in a lot of their games, like let's say Apex. I think does EA run Apex? I don't know. Anyway, loot boxes. He's the reason why loot boxes exist. At one point he suggested charging players actual money to reload ammo. Like, what the heck? No. Excuse me? Do you know how much ammo players go through? Yes, I know. You could make a heck ton of money at selling ammo for 1 cent each. However, in a lifetime of a game, you are going to be shooting over 1 million shots. Maybe an exaggeration, but let's just say 1 million shots. 1% of 1 million is still $10,000. Are you serious? No, I don't think so. Imagine paying $10,000 just to reload ammo in a game. Now, granted, that's not all at once, but that's still accumulated costs for nothing. I don't think so. No. Glad that idea never took off, but we still got loot boxes, which could have been worse. But loot boxes, I guess, are the same as gacha boxes, so it's not really this. I mean, you're kind of used to it by now. I'll be perfectly honest. You're kind of used to gacha by now, but I think the implementation's a little bit different. I don't know. I don't know how loot boxes work. I don't think loot boxes have pity, so might be a little bit different. I don't know. Anyway, it's that same CEO, so I'm guessing he got the same harebrained idea to do the same for Unity. And honestly, even if they walk it back, I don't think people will think about using Unity in the future, because it's just gonna. I mean, if they're gonna retroactively break contracts like that for people who are using Unity currently and expecting things to be the same as before, that doesn't like inspire confidence for them to continue, right? If they're just gonna change it like without any input, drop of a hat kind of thing, and affects even old projects, no. Anyway, that's my short spiel for something I am barely informed on. This is kind of why I don't like to do that kind of subjects, because I'm not I'm not very informed on it, and there's definitely a lot more people who are have more information, are definitely more in tune than I am. I just know what I know because I am friends with a lot of developers. I never actually tell you guys this, but I am friends with a lot of game devs. Maybe not high-profile game devs, but they are indie game devs that have released stuff before. They have released Omori. They have released Pocket Mirror and a bunch of other stuff. I can't tell you more than that. I already told you too much, to be honest, just by saying that. Okay, I already told you too much by saying that. But I am friends with game devs that have been involved in projects you may, the games that you haven't heard of before, and they're also, you know, not cool about that. They're not vocal about it either, but they're not, you know, they're definitely, no game dev I think likes this, whether or not they actually use Unity. Even more so the people that use Unity. I am personally a, what do you call this? A game dev dabbler. Game mechanics are mostly my thing. I don't do design or anything like that. I just do game mechanics in my own spare time. I have not actually made a game yet. Maybe we should change that. Maybe we should make a game on stream. I feel like we should make a game on stream. It would be nice, but it's gonna be like a small game, probably RPG Maker, because that's like the easiest thing to use. Unity is a pain in the butt to use, and after the whole Unity shenanigans, I wouldn't want to use it anyway. Or we could learn Godot. Godot supposedly is something that people should start learning. Though I have heard a lot of devs say it doesn't have the support Unity does, so it still has a lot of catching up to do. Coding stream, I'm not really a good coder. So I don't know how well that would work. But for actually doing a dev stream, what could we do? I mean, I feel like I have to like do the design. We could do some design on stream. Like we could do some game design brainstorming on stream. And then how do people do game dev streams? Do people do game dev streams? I feel like people don't show their source code when they do game dev streams. If they do show any code, it's kind of like for RPG Maker eventing, how events are made, and then you make all these things for the events, and and I think you show people how the events would work. Problem solving. It would be basically problem solving streams. I don't know how those work. I honestly don't. I've never seen a coding stream before. I know a friend of mine says he's seen them before, but he doesn't understand them. Like, why would anyone want to just watch you code? I'll be honest, I don't understand either. Maybe I should look into coding streams and see if how they do it. Maybe. It's an interesting idea. I don't know if I would be able to pull that off though. I know someone that streams wait, I can't read it because of the heart thing. Honestly, this heart thing is like one of the, I don't know if it's even a good change, but it is a change that YouTube has done for people who don't want to talk but still want to emote. But it also blocks some text I can't read. I know some people that stream as in documentary it for their development game. True. I wonder if any big devs do that though. I'm kind of curious. Crap, if I actually kept the 4 and the 3 and we got the 2, we would be in Tenpai by now. Oh well, that's just how it rolls. I would have been in Tenpai, but I'm not in Tenpai. I'm trying to listen to the table right now, but the table is not being very clear on what it wants me to do. It's like it's telling me to keep certain tiles, but I don't hear the signals and it's like, oh crap. Oh, you wanted me to keep those two? Oh crap. Oh well. But yeah, maybe. I do know I have a friend though that has offered sprites that I can use on stream. So if we do something like that, at least I don't have to make sprites, because I am very art deficient. I am very art deficient. Even if I were to draw something, it would take me like 4 hours to draw one thing. I am an ideas person at the end of the day. I am not a artist. But ideas can also do battle mechanics, and battle mechanics take inspiration from a bunch of stuff, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, I am very average as far as game dev is concerned, but I can get some ideas down. I was writing some ideas down for game ideas. And I think a lot of the stuff I write down is like inspired by things I was playing at the time. Like I was thinking of making an idle game. Like, you know, incremental game, idle game, incremental game, those kind of things. Based on stuff I played like Antimatter Dimensions and Kitten's Game. I got really addicted to Antimatter Dimension and Kitten's Game for a while there, a few months ago. I don't play them anymore. Because I know it just keeps shooting off the, I guess, the serotonin or whatever that thing's called. And I couldn't keep it under control, so I just had to like, nope, let's just put this away. I need my concentrations and other things for the important stuff. So I have stopped that. I also haven't played that many gacha games recently. I was playing 2 gacha games, Limbus Company and Blue Archive, until like a couple of weeks ago, and I do miss playing them. But I also have to remind myself I can always see fan art of the stuff that I missed, and fan art is great. Fan art is good. To be honest, I've never actually read the story for Blue Archive, though I hear it's really good. I hear it's actually pretty good. The gameplay is at least easier to get into than Limbus Company, but I like Limbus Company because just, you know, the world building, that kind of thing. But Blue Archive though, I know I'm missing out. I am missing out. I really do feel like I'm missing out sometimes. Though if I were to, what is happening in Blue Archive right now? I think it's the, I don't know if there's always an event, right? There's always an event in Blue Archive, but I think the current banner is like the sports day. There's a cheerleading outfit. There's a few tracksuit outfits. None of them I want, by the way. They just don't hit it for me. I was still waiting for the yuruHYPE banner to come back, so that I can actually roll for yuruHYPE. I want yuruHYPE on my team, and I do not have her. I was lucky enough to get Toki. Toki I do have. I think I got her all the way to 5-star, and that was it. Yeah. I did finish the what was the last event that happened that I did? I think they finished like the season 1 story for Blue Archive a few weeks ago. I finished that at least, but I did not read any of the story because I am so far behind in the story. I feel like I should at least read everything before I do that. I feel like I missed a whole lot of context, but at the same time, I don't know what context I missed. I just know stuff happened, and apparently everything is destroyed. I think that's where we're at right now. Everything is destroyed, and so everyone's doing a cleanup. And for some, I don't know if the sports day is a rerun or just something happening during the cleanup. So that's about it. That's all I know. I'm so bad. I'm such a fake Blue Archive fan. But the thing about Blue Archive is I don't need to. I don't need to I don't need to read any of that. The only thing I need to read with the Blue Archive is the dojins, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. The sports on the JP server. Oh, wait. What does EN have right now then? Because that's the server I was on. Am on. Technically still on. I was trying to look up information on what the current event on EN is, but I don't think I saw. I couldn't find information on it. Maybe even on the Reddit. Even on the Reddit. Still cleanup. Oh, okay. Ouch. Don't hurt me too bad. Don't hurt me too bad. 3,000. 3.9. I'll take 3.9. This will probably drop me to 3rd by the end of the game. That's okay. I probably should. I'm also thinking though, if I do get back into either Limbus or Blue Archive, Limbus would be really good to go and get into right now. For me personally, just because a couple outfits have been released, or at least one is teased and one is releasing, and they both look really cool. They both look really cool. If Limbus has one thing going for it, it is that they're the outfits that all the characters can use are really, really super cool. At least to me. It's like dark, edgy, but I kind of like that aesthetic, so. I just like that aesthetic in general. I don't know why. Maybe I'm still a little edgy, despite despite my experience. Yeah. If you can stream Blue Archive for reading the story if you want. Can I just stream the story? I feel like that's kind of pointless, right? I mean, I don't mind doing it, but wouldn't it be better to just like watch a YouTube video that has like the story archive? I know people do that. People have story archives for a bunch of gacha games. I used to do it myself for Grand Blue Fantasy. Until my old channel got taken down. I'm still salty about that. My old channel got taken down because what did I get struck for? I don't even remember. I got struck by stuff on my channel, and I'm still very salty about that. I mean, I guess technically in Blue Archive, the mission stages and the story stages are separate, right? Just because you can do you can like grind up the mission stages and never touch story. And then you do story, that's a separate thing. But honestly, I don't know why I would do just story. It's different feelings when you're reading it yourself than watch other people doing it. It's true. It is a lot of story though. Also, that's also a lot of reading. It's about as much reading as Girls Frontline. I feel like it's about as much reading as Girls Frontline. Because none of the story stuff is voiced, if I remember correctly. If it was voiced, it would be a lot easier on me. But if it's not voiced, it's yeah, that's kind of tough. That's kind of rough. I like streaming Limbus Company because it's voice acted. It's fully voice acted. I like streaming that because of it. The only thing about with Limbus Company, as much as I like it, there's like too many fights during the story portion. But otherwise, I'm okay streaming it because I don't have to read. I do not have to read. I mean, I feel like that's a very fair thing to do. I mean, very fair thing for me to like the streamer. I do enjoy Blue Archive though. Gameplay's simple enough. It's not like the most in-depth gameplay, but it's good. The girls are cute. The girls are cute. I think more than the gameplay itself though. I just like the I just like the dojins. I just like the dojins. I'll admit that here. I like the dojins. I think there's some work safe dojins though, but I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen any of them. A lot of people think dojins are just like the R18 stuff. They are not. I will just say this right now. Dojins are not all R18, but that's the implication whenever you do talk about it. I say that because I used to like edit the some Toho dojins way back in the day, and they were all work safe. They were all work safe. All the ones I touched were work safe, and they were fun. They were fun. So they're definitely not all R18, but most people think they're all R18. So I just want to make that clarification right now. Yep, 3rd place. I had a feeling that was going to be the case here. That's okay. You not in for VN game that's not voiced then? Well, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I do play. I have played and will play visual novel games per se, that are not voiced. It's just, you know, there's a difference between visual novel itself versus a gacha game with visual novel elements to it that I have to voice. Maybe a little bit of a difference. At least in a visual novel, you know, you can pick your paths depending on the choices, right? But with a gacha game with visual novel elements, there's no really path picking. It's just a linear story that you go through, and you're just kind of there for the ride, which I'm totally okay with. But it's not the same experience as playing as a visual novel, where you have to make decisions throughout the story, and it does affect your outcome. There's a little bit of a difference there. Voice acting one or the other, honestly, not that big of a deal. It's just I feel like there's more text and stuff to go through in a gacha game with visual novel cutscenes, and there's no decision to make. It's just basically story time, ASMR story time. I feel like it's basically ASMR story time, except I can't do ASMR. Phoenix Wright Games is linear though, I guess technically, but there's at least gameplay in the middle for the Phoenix Wright stuff, right? There's at least gameplay in the middle during the Phoenix Wright stuff that hinders or that hinders your progress, and you have to like solve quote unquote the detective puzzles. That I will say it's detective puzzles at the end of the day. It's hide and seek detective puzzles in the end of the day. But there's still a choice to be made. There's still a choice to be made. There's gameplay in the process of the visual novel-ing. Meanwhile, gacha games in general, yes, visual novel aspect of the scenes are there. However, there is no real choices to be made there. It would be better though if the story and the fights, the fights were like together. Like you do a little bit of fighting, then you do the story, you do a little fighting, you do the story. In a gacha game, that makes sense. In Limbus Company, you do that also. You do a lot of story, a lot of fighting, but at least, you know, you have to go through the fighting and story to get to the next fighting and story. In Blue Archive, like I mentioned before, the story is separate. The game is separate. The actual game portion is separate. There is fighting in the VN Part 2. True, I have done that. I had to do it. I had to do it to get all the rewards for the last event. I had to do that. However, I feel like they're far and few in between, and you're kind of given set teams to do it, and the teams cannot lose. I would take that back. Some teams will lose, but the losing is scripted. So whether you win or lose is scripted as far as that fighting within the VN2. right? Right. At least for in the case of Blue Archive, that is the case. I think the one thing that annoys me a little bit with Blue Archive, though, I think it's also a thing in Princess Connect, which I used to play way back when. Is that if you weren't there from the beginning, grinding the levels is a pain in the butt. It is a pain in the butt if you don't use gems to advance your progress. And if you are a cheapskate with gems, you only use the bare minimum before the price increases. Otherwise, you spend too much and that you would have used for rolling instead. So, it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma when you want to get to the max current level, but oh no, I don't have enough gems. I'm only level 65. I'm only level 60. I think I was level 60 something? I think I was only level 60 something before I just kind of fell off with Blue Archive recently. Not saying I don't enjoy it, it's just I value my time to do other things. I try to do other things with my time, so that's the main reason why. Yeah, I know, you can do like you can probably only spend 5-10 minutes to do anything in Blue Archive and you're done for the day, but still, I have to also keep it in the back of my mind. Oh yeah, I gotta check in. I gotta check in the game, so the stamina in the cafe or lounge, whatever that area is in Blue Archive, doesn't cap. You never want your energy to cap, and I know it's a thing in a lot of gacha games where you have stamina. But I appreciate the games without stamina because I don't have to worry about them as much. In Limbus Company, yes, you have stamina, but it literally just takes 2 seconds to convert all of your stamina into, like, I guess, a converted form of stamina, a portable stamina. I don't know how you would call it. And you don't have to worry about the game again for a little while. And if you do the what do you call this? If you do the dailies, the dailies do kind of take a little while on the dailies and weeklies do take a little while with this stuff. I will admit that. But at least, you know, you can usually find just enough time in the day to do them. But that's at the very least, I don't have to worry about stamina as much. No stamina in Nikkei. True. Nikkei doesn't have a stamina in the traditional sense. However, Nikkei you still have to keep up with your resources capping in Nikkei. I have played Nikkei for a little bit, and all idle games all gacha idle games are guilty of this. You still have to watch out you still have to watch out with your resources capping, because if you let it cap, you lose EXP and you lose money. So those things are very important, and those things are also very scarce. Yeah, those things are very scarce once you get to a certain part of the game where you can only like really max level realistically 5 people, and everyone else's levels are based on on the lowest of those 5 people. But experience points are very scarce in general. And I wish you can see my hand do the little money sign, because that's kind of what it feels like. But true, it doesn't have any stamina, but you still have to like worry about that every, I guess, 24 hours, I guess. But also, and this is just me nitpicking at this point, but it is still a point. I feel like the dailies in Nikkei take a little while, or maybe my teams were just crap, I don't know. I remember spending a good 30 minutes or so doing dailies in Nikkei. funny thing about Nikkei though, as much fan service as they have in your face, the story is actually pretty good. I don't know. I feel like a lot of Korean games have pretty good story. Blue Archive, Limbus Company, Nikkei. It's kind of amazing. Meanwhile, Japanese games I feel like haven't really caught up with the whole story aspect on their gacha games. It's kind of like, you know, it's this cute thing that just so happens to exist. Grand Blue Fantasy I would count as one of the gacha games that actually has a pretty good story. However, if you play Grand Blue Fantasy, you play Grand Blue Fantasy and lose your life. Well, it depends on how much you invest in Grand Blue Fantasy. Because there's this thing that everyone knows in Grand Blue Fantasy, whether or not you actually play it, called Guild Wars. Now, you do not have to do Guild Wars if you play Grand Blue Fantasy. You absolutely do not. However, if you do want to get certain things, get certain rewards, you are obligated to do Guild Wars. And to do Guild Wars, you have to join a guild. And depending on what guild you have, some guilds, you know, just do the bare minimum and you don't have to worry too much about it. But you still have to like grind enough from the Guild Wars for your own personal stuff. That's not the point. That's not the point. Guild Wars is a collective effort. Guild Wars will literally eat your life. It ate my life for 2 years, the 2 years I played it. And I have spent sleepless nights doing Guild Wars. And it is a painful experience mentally. I do not recommend it, but holy crap, I do miss the characters. The gameplay is okay. I mean, the gameplay is what it is. It's definitely an older gameplay. I miss the characters though, more than anything. I want to know where the story goes, but I do not want to go through Guild Wars again. And I know because I am a very min-max gamer, I will have to go through Guild Wars, and I do not want to do that to myself. I wish it on no one. I wish it absolutely on no one. Yes, I know my hand has no Yaku, but you know what? I'm just gonna make them think I have a Yaku. And then slowly change my hand out so that I do have a Yaku eventually. We'll get it to work, don't worry. Or not, this person saved me. That's okay too. Also, I'll be honest, I think Princess Connect was on the same level as far as Guild Wars is concerned. No, Princess Connect is easier. They have this thing called clan battles in Princess Connect, but it doesn't take as much time as Guild Wars, but it is also fairly frequent. It's more frequent than Guild Wars. So I don't also recommend that unless you just, you know, it's more of a chill time, to be honest. I feel like the ranking system in Princess Connect is a little bit more loose. Definitely a bit more loose. But it's like, still, you have this guild event that you have to check into every so often, and I don't think I'm up for that anymore. I don't think I'm up for that anymore. Not because I hate people, I really don't. It's just, I kind of like to play games on my own pace, you know. That's kind of how I am right now. I think that's the reason I'm slowly getting out of gachas, but I still appreciate the, what do you call it? I still appreciate the characters, the gameplay of some gacha games. I will still try new gacha games as they come out. Okay, I don't think that has changed. I have the things that I do keep an eye on, and there's one gacha game coming out soon-ish, I think. Reverse 1999, I think is what it's called. That's the one that the gacha server I belong to is looking at currently, and it's interesting, but it also has like that fake Grand Order gameplay. But it's fake Grand Order gameplay with a twist, and I think I like the twist, which is a good thing. So I'm looking forward to see how that actually is played in practice. So when that comes out, I do want to try it. I'm pretty sure I also streamed Kimono Friends here when it first came out. I don't play Kimono Friends anymore. I enjoyed it while it lasted. However, I think me and all the other people in the gacha server, what do you call this? Agreed that Kimono Friends, it is good. However, there is like resource gating, hard resource gating that we just did not like. It is fun, but resource gating is never a good thing. So, I don't know. It was fun though. Looking forward to that new Girls Frontline game animation. Oh yeah, Girls Frontline 2? The Girls Frontline 2 game? I am looking forward to that. I think when Girls Frontline 2 comes out, I will play it as much as I can. Because it is definitely something that looks interesting. I don't know how long I'll be able to stick with it. That's the thing, right? You may play a gacha game initially, but how long do you stick with it? That is the eternal question. And for me, trying to free enough time for myself and not play too many gacha games anymore. It's nice to play them once in a while, but if I stop playing them, I feel like I'm missing out, and you know, it's just hard to get back into it. The one game I can get back into over and over again, it doesn't matter to me how many times I have to reset my file, is Battle Cats. Battle Cats, I feel like I've lost my game like 5 times now in Battle Cats, and one of them I think I got like pretty far. But I don't mind starting that over and over again because it's just this little silly cat game. And there's no pressure to keep up with meta or anything in that. You just kind of take it at your own pace. But it's also a pain in the butt to start over and over again. That's just a thing. That's just a thing. I don't play gacha games unless those games are action Devil May Cry games. Ooh, then I think there was this one game. What's it called? Ah, crap! I forgot. There is a couple of games like that. Not Genshin though. I think Genshin might sort of fall into that. Honkai Star Rail was also good, but I think Honkai and MiHoYo stuff in general don't release content that quickly, so we kind of fell off on that. But also grinding. There's also a lot of grinding. I don't mind grinding, but I also had other things I wanted to do, so that's kind of why I dropped Star Rail. I enjoyed it, but grinding. Grinding that I really didn't want to keep up with. The only gacha games I have played and will play are Punishing Gray Raven. That's the one I was thinking of. Either Gaster. I don't think I've heard of either Gaster. And Honkai Impact 3rd. Fair. Definitely not Genshin, really? Genshin is boring? What do you don't like about Genshin? I mean, I'll be honest, I played Genshin for a little bit, but I'm like and I think I keep on running into this issue. Open world is really not my thing. Like, I like exploring, but open world sometimes feels a little bit too big. So I kind of fall off after that. It's also, I think, as much as I love the Ryza series, as much as I love Atelier Ryza, I felt like the open world part of Atelier Ryza was just a little bit too big, so it was a bit of it took a lot from me to get through that. And I say that as someone who actually likes the series and not just Ryza itself. So Genshin literally put me to sleep. I mean, I can understand why. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I do like Star Rail though. I did like Star Rail. I would have kept playing Star Rail if the grind wasn't so grindy. And technically Star Rail does not have stamina. But it still has like a stamina type, what do you call this? Resource. That if you don't use it, you also, you know, you miss out. You miss out on stuff. The music soothing, yeah, it does make me sleep listening to Genshin. Was the music in Genshin really that soothing? I don't remember. I played it so long ago. I think I played it when it came out at first. But I just couldn't get into it. Same reason why I couldn't get into what was it? What was the other game called? Tower of Fantasy, I think. Tower of Fantasy, which is supposed to be like not Genshin, but kind of Genshin. I couldn't get into that either. I wanted to really badly, but I just couldn't. Would play Star Rail, but I don't like RPG, so it's a hard pass for me. Fair enough. I feel like Star Rail though, as an RPG, ticked off the basic RPG boxes for me and had enough gameplay for an RPG, like a turn-based RPG gacha. It ticked off enough boxes for me to where, yeah, I would have kept playing it. However, I wish they just made it as an actual separate console game, because I feel like it would have made an actual good console game. But they don't, because gacha makes money. That's just kind of how it is. Oh well. Like certain RPGs that let you interact with the battle, not watch it. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of those like that. Star Ocean, I feel like, if you like RPGs, maybe Star Ocean would be one of them. There is one RPG-ish game that I'm kind of waiting on that's coming out next year. Has anyone here heard of Grand Blue Relink? Grand Blue Fantasy has an actual RPG game coming out next year. And I am going to play that when it comes out. It's not a gacha game. It is an actual full-blown console RPG, and yeah, I would like to play that. So we're going in for it. I will be going back to Grand Blue, but not Grand Blue Fantasy. Not Grand Blue Fantasy, the gacha game. Grand Blue Fantasy that I think was originally developed with Platinum. So it has some Platinum gameplay elements to it as far as the action goes. But you do have a full party too. So it should be interesting. That's the only reason why I don't want to try older Final Fantasy games. I see. Yeah, older Final Fantasy games, it's like, it's a hit or miss, honestly. My first Final Fantasy game was Final Fantasy VII, the original Final Fantasy VII, and I liked it. But I understand that it's not for everyone. I do know a lot of people who play the original Final Fantasy VII. When the remake came out, they were willing to forgive the actiony part of the remake, but the story was a lot different than the original. So there was a little bit of yeah, there was some love that fell off from people for that. Only interested in GBF Versus for the franchise. Fighting game looks cool there. Yeah, it's cool. However, there's not enough player base, I think that's the issue with Versus right now. And I don't know, there's like some fighting game people always clamoring about this rollback thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what this netcode rollback thing is. Is it like some sort of correction that happens due to input lag and stuff like that? I don't know. I know a lot of fighting game people want that for their online fighting connectivity, and if they don't have it, it's like, oh no, it wasn't a fair fight. I don't know how true that is, but a lot of them seem to want that. The main character Gran has Super Saiyan Blue, so that's pretty cool. I mean, he only got that. When did he get that? It's not recent. I think he got that in the past 3 years or something, 2 or 3 years. And honestly, that's like the most random thing. As a person who has played Grand Blue Fantasy a long time ago, that would have never made sense back then. It still doesn't make sense now, but I guess story-wise, it makes sense. I just don't know what the story justifications are, and I don't care to know. I don't care to know. But hey, he has it, and you know, I guess Grand Blue is going the way of actual Grand Blue with Super Saiyan Blue and stuff. But the actual game story is nowhere near done, so you know, gotcha things. Gotcha things. I just wonder how the actual console game is going to be like when that does come out, because I'm super excited about that. I do know when that's coming out, Persona 3 Remake is also coming out at the same time. And I am not going to pick up Persona 3 Remake unless I know that's the final version, because, you know, Persona 5 went through, I think, 1 or 2 revisions before they did Royale, and I'm not paying another X amount of money just to get the same game 4 times unless it's an Atelier game, because I'm stupid that way and I like the Atelier series. But that's a different story. That is an entirely different story, and that is me just being a Gus simp, okay? That's me being a Gus simp, nothing else. Rollback basically makes the game run the way it's supposed to run instead of delay-based netcode, which delays the game a bit. I'm okay. I mean, true, when you're like playing online games, there's always a little bit of delay, right? There is a delay. It's not like you're on a couch with the person you're playing with and, you know, delay is not a thing. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. I feel like I'm losing my voice right now. I don't know why. Sec. I feel like I've been talking a lot more today than normal for a Mahjong stream. But I don't know why I'm losing. But that should not be a reason why I'm losing my voice during the middle of the stream. And I don't think I had anything earlier today that would make me do that. Okay, I do admit. I was making soup pasta earlier. Got like the 1 serving of spaghetti, broke it in half, put it in the pot, and I did a little bit of chicken broth, a little bit of vegetable broth, mix the 2 together. And at the end of it, I also put milk, because that's kind of what you do when you make soup pasta. And maybe the milk has something to do with my voice right now, but I also haven't talked that much today, so I don't know why I'm kind of losing it. I have played fighting games with and without rollback, and it makes a major difference. Okay. I mean, I'll trust you on that one. I'll trust you on that one. There's no more player around that I want to play with than you. Man. I think like a lot of... I mean, I guess people still do get together once in a while to play games in person. You know, actual tabletop games, actual board games, actual couch games with other people that do fighting games or Mario Kart or stuff like that. But I feel like most people these days, they just play online games because it's more convenient. You don't have to leave home. You can play with your friend all the way across the across the world. Mahjong Soul. I mean, yeah, I would like to play Mahjong Soul with you, but we need a 3rd person. We need a 3rd person to get a game going. We don't have a 3rd person. We have been losing our 3rd person for a while. I feel like as soon as summer started, the Mahjong regulars, we don't have any Mahjong regulars since summer started. And because, you know, summer vacation and all that stuff. And I would get people from Twitch, however, I can no longer dual stream on Twitch. Now, this is probably something I would probably bring up on On Monday, during the anniversary stuff, my voice again. But it's like, yeah, I mean, Twitch, streaming, and all that stuff, but we'll talk about it on Monday, but I don't know. I like YouTube. I like YouTube. I don't know if we should stream on Twitch also. Separately, because that is a thing. I don't know. I haven't thought about Twitch in a long time, and with the way Twitch is going, I don't know if I want to anyway. But I just want to like get feelers out there just in case. We'll see. That's why Dragon Ball FighterZ Z 5-year-old game is getting rollback. Everyone, including me, wants rollback for that game. Has it gotten rollback? It said it's getting rollback, so it's going to. Okay, okay. Oh my gosh, I think my voice is going. I don't know why. This is not normal, but my voice is going today, so I might have to end a little bit early. Like, if I keep talking, I'm probably actually gonna lose my voice and not be able to actually talk. But I do kind of want to like play a few more games. So we are still waiting for the rollback, which was delayed. Ah, yeah, we can. I mean, we can keep talking. I don't have to play a game, so I don't have to play a game, but we can still keep talking. I haven't played a fighting game in a very long time. I think the only fighting game I currently have, and I only have it because it's free, Them's Fighting Herd? Wait, what was it called again? That the My Little Pony fighting game, but it's not My Little Pony. Them's Fighting Herds. Okay, that is what it's called. Them's Fighting Herds. Let me link it to you guys so that you can see it if you don't know what I'm talking about. This one. That's the one I'm talking about. Like, it was originally supposed to be a My Little Ponies fighting game, but they were told they can't do that, so they had to remake it, and now it's its own thing, but visually speaking, it's My Little Ponies. Visually speaking, it's My Little Ponies, it's just not My Little Ponies. Which is kind of neat, actually. It's kind of neat. The crazy part is DBFZ. I want to say DBZF. Still has a huge player base. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the only Dragon Ball fighting game, right? And there's a lot of fans of Dragon Ball Z in general. So I can see why they would still want to play it as much as possible. Haven't played it, but I saw gameplay of it. I have it for free on Epic. I haven't tried it yet. But I kind of want to try it. I will, but I don't know. I mean, it was free on Epic for a certain amount of time, so when I heard about that, it's like, cool, let's get it. And so I did, but I haven't played it. I don't know anything about it other than the visuals, and I don't know how the game plays, but I do kind of find it funny that it's basically My Little Pony. I also think it's funny that a bunch of MLP characters are throwing hands. Yeah, I mean, that's the funny bit, right? That's the funny bit. This is basically if MLP was in a different universe, because it can't be MLP, but it's basically MLP anyway. And it's not just horses. It's not just Pegasus. It's not just all the usual stuff there. You also have llamas. You also have bulls. You also have dragons, I guess. Dragons are here. There's also an actual bear, which I don't think that's normally a thing in MLP universe, but it does look interesting, and I just want to play it for the lulz, and we can play it for the lulz eventually, just not anytime soon, because I want to get through Armored Core 6 first before I leave for my trip. I think we'll be able to finish the Armored Core 6 in a week or two, because right now I'm going through New Game Plus, which actually has extra lore that wasn't in the first playthrough. And it shouldn't take as long as the first playthrough because I'm now super good at the game. Armored Core 6. Armored Core 6 is 5 chapters long, but if you want to get the true ending, I think you have to get like 2 different endings. So that's ending 1 through your first playthrough, and then ending 2 through your second playthrough, which is New Game Plus, which New Game Plus has extra routes and extra content that wasn't in the first playthrough. But you're still playing through the game again. But if you're good enough, you can beat the playthrough in about 10 hours or less. So, because I am now better than I used to be at the start and have better parts now, I can breeze through the the portion of the game I have already played through because I am that much better, right? So, yeah. So, what we did last Wednesday. What we did last Wednesday, if you want to watch it, is we finished chapter 5, which is the final chapter of the game. So we finished chapter 5, got 1 ending, and then the game didn't even give us a choice about the New Game Plus. It just kind of threw us into a New Game Plus. And New Game Plus, when we started it on Wednesday, I went through chapter 2 and chapter 4 in about 2.5 hours. Now, just to not chapter 4, chapter 1 and chapter 2 in 2.5 hours. Now, just for perspective, the first time around when I did that, I think I took 4 hours for chapter 1, and then not even 2 hours for chapter 2, but it did take me a little bit to get through chapter 2. But so that's about 6 hours total. But I did that in about 2.5 hours. Plus, I did that in about 2.5 hours while also getting 1 ending last time. So, chapter 3 is a little bit on the long side, so that might take a little while. But I might be able to finish chapter 3 and start chapter 4 next week. And then finish New Game Plus next week, and then start New Game Plus, which would be the route for the true end. I want to get the true end on stream before I leave. So hopefully in about 2 weeks we'll be finished with Armored Core 2, doing 2 episodes each week, and then that should give me 2 free weeks next month to do whatever. We're probably not going to be starting any long games, but we'll be doing like shorter games, like maybe small horror games that we can finish in a couple of parts. So that's kind of the plan, and also do 1 more stream like the week before I leave. How long will your trip be? So my trip will be about how long is it going to be? About 3.5 weeks. So my trip itself will be 3.5 weeks, but I will be probably... Is it 3.5 weeks? 1, 2, 3... half. Yeah, so about 3.5 weeks for the trip itself. But I will probably, jet lag and stuff like that. It'll probably take me about a week to come back to stream afterwards. So all in all, I'll be gone from the channel for about a month. All in all, I'll be gone from the channel for about a month. So probably won't be able to upload anything during that time. Yeah. Not the whole of October. I'll be like gone from the middle of October, and I'll be back middle of November. Is what it is. But like, yeah, I don't think I'm trying to make some content for when I'm gone, but I don't think it'll be possible. So I'll make what I can, and if there is something, you'll see it. If there's nothing, then, well, there's just not going to be anything on the channel for 1 whole month. And there's all the VODs that you can catch up on if you want to do that. So feel free to do that, and see if there's any games I have covered that you haven't seen and want to see. I don't know. There's also that. I will try. Well, no, I shouldn't promise this, but I want to try. I want to try streaming while I'm there. However, I think it will be difficult for a couple of reasons. One is I will only be... The only thing I'm bringing with me that can stream at all will be a GoPro. And if you know GoPros at all, GoPros have terrible battery life. 2 hours maximum battery life. So there is that. I mean, I guess when streaming, that's not a huge deal. I'll probably like do a 30-minute or 1 hour stream on a GoPro if I can manage that. However, I won't be able to do it. I won't be able to do it like that often because streaming also takes up a lot of data, and I don't know how much data I'll have. I'm not gonna be. I won't have unlimited data when I'm over there. I will not have unlimited data. Because it's expensive to do that. So no unlimited data while I'm over there, because I don't typically do that anyway. I get like a SIM card, I think. Well, technically the SIM card has quote-unquote unlimited data up to a certain point. I think it's like it gives up to, I think it's 30 or 50 gigs maximum, and then you're just like very slow for the rest of the time, like 2G speed slow. And there's also like I think it's a 2 or 3 day data limit of 5 or 6 gigabytes. So depending on how much data I use, just streaming alone, it could hit that pretty easily. I will tell you though that I think my normal data usage when I do stream right now is probably about, since I do 1080, I think a 4-hour stream is about 10 gigs. But if we do less than that, if we do like 1 hour maximum on a GoPro while streaming at 1080p, we could get away with what is that? 2.5 gigs, I think. But here's the reality. The GoPro streams in 4K. So 4K is a lot more data. And that much data is gonna eat up a lot, is gonna eat up through the data cap really, really quickly. So I don't know if it's possible, even if I wanted to. I want to, but I don't know if it's possible. Logistically, I feel like it's not possible. Unless I find like Wi-Fi somewhere that I can piggyback off and use that instead. But I don't trust that the Wi-Fi will have enough bandwidth for it. And if I go to restaurants, which is where I would want to stream anyway, if I would stream in Japan, like live stream in Japan, I would stream either in a restaurant or I would stream like out in the field, show you guys around and stuff like that. If I'm outside, I need to use data. If I'm in a restaurant, I would need to use data. Restaurants in Japan do not give free Wi-Fi. I don't think restaurants here in general give free Wi-Fi, but they don't over there even more so. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. So I will try, not promising anything, but we will see. The most I can probably do is like get a bunch of pictures, take a lot of videos, and come back, edit a bunch of videos, post videos on here and the vlog channel, which I haven't touched in a very long time. I have a lot of videos I still haven't sifted through from past trips. But that's only because I can't figure out how to like put them together to make a cohesive video. It might be a bunch of shorts at that point, but I do want to at least make 1 or 2 videos from this trip, but it's gonna be tough. It's just gonna be tough in general. So I think at most what I can do is when I get back, a lot of trip talking stuff and a lot of showing pictures, and that's basically how we'll do it for a while. That's how we'll do it for a while. But I'll talk more about that stuff later. Anyway, I'll be gone for basically a month when I do leave, and you will know when I leave because I will mention it again later. Yeah, I'll try to make some videos, but it's not looking like I'll be able to. Just because making videos just to have something like once a week on the channel is difficult to make, though I do have some ideas, like short video ideas. We'll see if I have the time to do it. We'll see. Let's see. But yeah, I think that's it for me today. My voice is dying. I did make it to 2 hours though, so yay. Yay, voice is dying, made it to 2 hours. But yeah, I wish I could have played with you guys. We just didn't have enough people for today. But hopefully the talk was good enough as a substitute. Got some talks there. We will do a small 3-year anniversary celebration on Monday the 18th. So if you want to join me for that, please do so. I think I'll make the waiting room in a couple of days, but I know it's a late announcement as far as yay, celebration stream, but I just wanted to do a small celebration, so we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I do want to talk about a few things during it. And maybe just do something fun. It's going to be a small fun thing. It's not going to be a big fun thing. I was originally thinking about cooking on stream on that day, but apparently I made notes for other things I forgot about, so we will do those other things because it seems more interesting. It is a stream I wanted to do earlier but couldn't, but now I have an excuse to do it. It'll be interesting, I promise you. It'll be a first for me too. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me, thanks for listening, and I'll see you all next time. See you on Monday the 18th if you want to drop by for the 3rd anniversary. We have been here for almost 3 years. Can you imagine? But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Rest my voice because it's going now. Bye bye everyone. See you later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.